So guys, we did it! We reached a quarter of 100,000 subscribers. 25,000 subscribers and still growing. The fact that we reached this number in such a short amount of time is just phenomenal. I'm just amazed. Thank you all so much. But anyways, memes aside, thank you so much for 25,000 subscribers. The channel has been growing insanely fast as of late, and I truly appreciate it. So I was thinking, let's make a video that'll make everyone mad at me to balance it out. Yeah, as you all can probably tell from the title and thumbnail, today I'll be sharing some of my most unpopular opinions from Nintendo, mostly Mario. I've got a list of around 15, I'll go into depth on some, and kinda be a little bit looser on a few others. Also, some of these I'm not actually sure if they're unpopular, but based off my Twitter and Discord experience, links to both in the description by the way, have shown me that they likely are. And one last thing before we start, these are just some opinions and there is absolutely nothing to get mad over. And I also think it'd be fun if maybe you all ask for my opinions on some other games in the comments to see if you can maybe squeeze a few more unpopular opinions out of me. If you disagree with me, that's completely alright, and if you agree with me, that's also okay. These are unpopular, so it's probably safe to say that you'll probably disagree with me on at least one of these. But please don't get mad at me over my opinions. I don't get mad at you over yours. But yes, please don't get mad. Thank you all so much for 25,000 subscribers, and remember to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy, and let's jump right into some of my Nintendo unpopular opinions. Let's start with the one that I don't think will get that many people mad, and that is, I really enjoy the World of Light mode in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sure, it may not have had as many cutscenes as Subspace, but I still found it to be an extremely fun mode. I see a lot of people hating on it, but I feel like most of it is unjust. The battles are fun and unique, and some of these are actually pretty challenging, especially if you try to beat them without spirits. I think spirits are a good way to represent a character, even though it would have been nice to have character descriptions for them like they used to have with trophies. But the battles are really fun to do and figure out how it's a reference to that character. Well, I guess while we're on the topic of Smash, I might as well say this. I honestly don't find Banjo that fun to use. I said this in my top 5 DLC Fighters Pass characters video, where he was in the 4th place spot. Still more fun than Byleth, however, I don't think it's unpopular to dislike Byleth. He's just too slow, too heavy, and his jumps is way too short. I also don't like how many of his moves connect together either. I feel like the character always goes the other way I'm expecting whenever I hit them with a falling neutral air. Now I am happy that they made it in, as they're a good character from an iconic series, and they've definitely been heavily requested. Just, I don't personally find them to be too fun to play. A lot of their moves, it's just really hard for me to use correctly. I also find it a bit annoying to go against them, but that's a bit of a different story. See, I mostly judge a character based on how fun they are to play, not really how hard it is to go against them. Except for you, Snake. I hate you. Alright, here's one I think might upset someone. GameCube controllers are honestly very overrated. I'm honestly not exactly sure why so many people like using them. I assume it's because of nostalgia, but like, no one uses N64 controllers. I think we can all agree that that controller sucks. I've tried to use a GameCube controller several times, but the button layout, the C-stick, and the shoulder buttons, they just don't feel right at all. The main control stick is solid though, with the notches, but other than that, I feel like it's completely inferior to the Switch Pro controller in every other way in my opinion. This one I'm actually pretty curious to hear why some people like it so much. Like, some people just refuse to play Smash Bros without it, and I just don't really see why. It just isn't as good as a controller as the Switch Pro controller in my opinion. It's certainly not the worst Nintendo controller, don't get me wrong. There's much worse, like I said, the N64 controller. Just, I don't really see why this controller is so loved. Alright, maybe let's bring it down to a little bit of a less controversial one. Oh, I know. I wanted to get at least one Animal Crossing one, since I'm in love with this game, so here we go. Time traveling is... I'm just kidding, I do not want to get into the time traveling debate. No, what I actually wanted to say here is I feel like there should be some more house upgrades, specifically to the back and side rooms. Because I feel like they're a bit small, since they're not as big as the main room, and you can't upgrade them like you could in previous titles. I'm not sure if this is an unpopular thought, but out of all of the things in this game that need to be fixed, this is the only one I've never heard anybody mention. The other 3 rooms, being the middle room and the top and bottom floors, are all good sizes. I especially like this shape of the top and bottom floors. It's really interesting to not just have a square shape, and I really like that. Still a great and amazing game. Please pick this game up if you haven't already. And honestly, I don't really need this one for this game to be perfect. Like, it's alright without the house upgrades. I just think it would be nice to be added. Alrighty, let's move on to some Mario Maker 2 opinions. First off, precision levels are almost all so lame. They usually look like they take about 5 minutes to make and are almost all the same. Whoa Mario, you gotta make a pixel perfect jump through spikes, or if they're feeling really daring, 2 or even maybe more.
Daring today, aren't we?
Seriously though, they're so boring, and many of the ones I see shared on Twitter or Reddit don't even have decorations to make up for their small, unoriginal level. Now, sure, I'm speaking pretty generally here, and maybe there are some good ones. However, precision is such a narrow category that honestly, they don't really have much room to change. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people that enjoy these types of levels, but I'm just not one of them. It doesn't matter if you like them, and it doesn't matter if you make them. I just personally don't like them, and it's okay for you all to enjoy them. However, they're also kind of boring to watch as well, unlike speedruns or kaizos, which I have my own issues with, but at least those are both good in my opinion. These are usually very slow without much action. Rather, it's just lining up and hoping you get lucky. If you're gonna make a precision level, please be unique and make it look nice as well. I do want to reinforce though that you all are completely okay in enjoying them. It'd be very silly for me to go be like, no, you can't enjoy them. No, these are obviously just not my type, and I'm glad that you all are able to enjoy them. I guess we should go ahead and knock out my other 2 main Mario Maker opinions here while we're at it. To be honest, the mystery mushrooms weren't that great. Sure, they were cool, but everyone is acting like it was the only good feature, and some people are even refusing to pick up Mario Maker 2 despite how much better it truly is, just because they can't play as someone else in a game style. Like, I understand being upset, but like, come on, this is the reason you don't pick up the game or hate it? These were oversaturated as all heck in Mario Maker 1 as well. I'm not saying that I'm happy these are gone, I'd rather have them here, just that it's not a huge enough loss to hate the game over. Alright, and the final Mario Maker 2 one, the frog suit kinda sucks. I actually can't believe some people think it's the best power-up that was added here, and some people say it's even better than the addition of 3D World on-off blocks or even the Koopalings, which are 2 great additions. Like, I can't be the only one who thinks this item is lame. Sure, it makes underwater levels better. Not great, better. But that means this is barely effective, and on top of that, and the other themes, this movement is awful. It's not like it doesn't do anything, it just completely hinders how Mario moves. The other power-ups are so much better because they can be used in a variety of different levels, but the frog suit can really only be used in underwater, nighttime underwater, which still sucks even with it because of the darkness, nighttime castle, and half of the jungle theme. 3.5 out of the 20 themes you can choose in Mario 3, that's not really a good sign. Again, nothing against if you like it, but I just don't see why. It's so awful to control on the ground, and it doesn't make water levels great. It makes them good, just not great, and it encourages more of them to be out there, while I'd rather be just playing overworld levels. Alright, here are 2 positive ones. Mario Odyssey is the best Mario game, and in my opinion, the best game ever made. Now, a while ago, I wouldn't think this was unpopular. However, a ton of people are starting to hate on Odyssey for some reason. It's an incredible game, and among one of the best ever made. It's my personal favorite, as I already said, and honestly, I just think they're a vocal minority. I'm not going into depth why I love this game, cause that could take hours, but just know that I love it. Now, with that said, I think the best 2D Mario game is New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I think the New Super Mario Bros. Series is way too overhated, and while I think it started to get a bit bland after New Super Mario Bros. 2, the titles on the DS and Wii introduced so many new things, and it makes me feel kinda sad that they're always so hated and lumped in with the other 2. Specifically for me, I really liked the Wii title. The levels there were so well made, the star coins were fun, and the levels were iconic. The new and improved power-ups like the Propeller Mushroom and Ice Flower are still some of my favorites to this day. It's a completely underrated game, and I think it should be recognized with the best, like Mario World and Mario 3. Wait, we'll get back to you. I do have a few more small opinions here on New Super Mario Bros. Wii though. The Tower Boss theme from Wii is by far the most underrated song from Mario. It just sounds so good. And finally, I personally think Mario Wii had the best Bowser fight in the whole series. At the very least best 2D Bowser fight. Like, obviously I love Odysseys, but I kinda consider taking control of Bowser to be something different. Nothing will ever beat the first time Bowser jumped up at me after we thought we had already defeated him, and then we started going through this large, lava-filled corridor. Such a great boss, and I'm actually honestly not really sure which would even come close to beating it. This is a great boss, and I'm actually not even sure if this is an unpopular opinion, I just wanted to share it. Alright, now for the one that was kind of the inspiration for this video. Super Mario Bros. 3? is by far the most overrated Mario game, if not video game, of all time. It's just incredibly just awful to control, but the worst part is definitely its level design. I swear some of these levels look like they were ripped from Mario Maker, and mediocre Mario Maker levels at that. Like, multiple levels even require power-ups to beat. Look at this one on screen. It's literally just a bland Star Run level. There's even one level I had to Google how to beat, and it seems I'm not even alone in that. The challenge should be executing things in a Mario game, not finding out what to do. Now, to be fair, maybe I dislike this game because so many other people love it. I will admit, I only got it since everybody said it was one of the best Mario games ever made, and I wanted to try it out. But that logic's a bit flawed, because the other two games that I got since people said were good, Mario 64 and Mario World, are some of my favorites. I honestly can't see why people love this game other than nostalgia. Also, many people also say it was good for the time, but if you're gonna make like a top 10 Mario games video, don't you think you should compare them based on how fun they are to play now and not when they came out? That's like if Bubsy 3D or something came out in 1562 or something like that. It'd be super impressive for the time, sure, but it sucks compared to everything we've got since. I might make a video to go more in depth on this one. Please let me know if you'd like to see something like that. But, you know, I just can't really get into this game. Also, I guess let me know why you like it, because, I mean, I just don't see it. Okay, well, at the very least, Mario Bros. 3 did introduce Dry Bones, who's the best Mario character and gaming character of all time. Dry Bones for Smash. Alright, so now we only got 5 more opinions that I don't really have much to touch on, so we'll just run through them quickly. I think the battle mode in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is great. I'm not really sure why people hate it, it's so much fun. Mario Party 9 and 10 are alright. They're not terrible games like everyone says, but I definitely understand where the hate for these come from, and they're probably the worst titles in their series. Pokemon Sword and Shield are pretty lame, and honestly, I wish they had all of, or at least many more Pokemon. My favorite way to play is catching them all, and my favorite title is Pokemon X, since I believe that was the generation where the most available Pokemon were able to be caught without needing to be imported from previous titles. There are so many other issues with how Game Freak could have done way better, but I'm not going to touch more on this because I probably already got 3 trillion dislikes for saying something bad about Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's definitely the most controversial opinion on here because it's probably about a 50-50 split, but I will not be going into my thoughts on the Pokemon series. Nintendo Switch Online, it's a good service. Sure, it can be much better, but for $20 you get access to online and a bunch of NES and SNES games. On top of that, you also get Tetris 99, which is incredible as well. Seeing as this is only 1/3 of the price as the other online services on the other consoles, I don't see why this is hated as much as it is. Like, I honestly don't see it. Like, sure, we got it for free before, but, you know, it's not really that bad. And finally, my last one, Rosalina sucks. Like, she's the worst. I haven't even played her for 1 second out of my 690-hour playtime in Smash Ultimate. Every time I get her on random, I restart the whole console to make sure I don't play her. That's how trash she is.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What?
But anyways, that's it for this video. Like I said, this was just for a bit of fun, so I hope you all enjoyed. Do you agree with me on any of these, or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. Again, these are just opinions, so if you disagree with me, that's great. I don't hate you or anything. It's good to have different views. But anyways, thank you all so much for 25,000 subscribers, and I'm going to be working really hard to keep the channel growing, so thank you all so much. Links to my Twitter and Discord are in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.